So last week we spoke of special relationships, and I mentioned that there's another type of relationship that comes about from the Holy Instant. The Holy Instant is that epiphany we sometimes have, perhaps oftentimes, that wakes us up. It is that moment outside of time and space when we choose spirit rather than ego, when we give up the choice to be right and opt for happiness, when we let go of obstinacy and just relinquish, when we subdue our intensity and choose peace. It's when we choose to forgive and release judgment and attack. The Holy Instant is the experience of undoing our guilt. It is this purpose which makes the instant holy and establishes it as an integral part of our overall atonement for correcting our misperceptions and our misthoughts. The Holy Instant occurs every time we take a step closer to the truth via the little steps of forgiveness rather than condemning and holding grievances. Against the ego's insane notion of salvation, Spirit gently lays the Holy Instant. The Holy Instant is the opposite of the ego's fixed belief in salvation through vengeance for the past. In the Holy Instant, for instance, the power of Spirit prevails because we join Him by releasing others from the slavery of their illusions, by forgiving them for the illusions we perceive in them. Again, I'll say that again. The power of Spirit prevails because we join Spirit by releasing others from the slavery of their illusions, by forgiving them for the illusions we perceive in them. In other words, we are all connected. What we think about others influences them to a tremendous degree. Thus, we learn that we have been forgiven, for it is us who offered others illusions, and it is us who now offer truth. As we release others, we release ourselves. In short, as we give, we receive in kind. When we finally realize that forgiveness feels better than holding a grudge or feeling vengeful, or that being happy feels better than being right, whatever that means, we have a holy moment in which to pause, to reflect, to ponder, to wonder why we don't do this more often. Forgiveness is so releasing and feels so good. We need to do it more often. We have, all of us, special relationships. They are part of our life. We have many of them at the same time. They are but a meager effort on our part to replace the relationship we had but threw away. Through them, we will never learn the value of what we cast aside, but still desire with all our heart. That relationship is the one we had with the divine who created the only real relationship that has meaning, His relationship with us. As the ego would limit our perception of another to the body, Spirit releases our vision so that we may see the great rays shining from the body, not because the body itself resonates so highly that light is noticeable, but because perception has changed in us such that the light of the Spirit within is now available to us. It is this shift from sight to vision that occurs in the Holy Instant. In that moment, there are no bodies, and we experience only the attraction of God in another. But if we never look upon our special hates, we will not experience the Holy Instant or find freedom. Oh yeah, I know. Be positive. Stay positive. Repeat your mantras. Repeat your affirmations. Don't let anything negative enter into your head, and get busy as soon as you can after mantra practice so that negativity doesn't pop in. The only problem with this method is that the stuff we all have remains buried and inaccessible by concentrating or focusing only on being positive. Freedom lies in looking at our stuff, but we cover it with a special love, a special relationship, so that we can stay occupied with what we call love and not have to look at the deep dark side we are carrying around all day long. The special love drives the hate we have underground and out of sight, but doesn't let go of it. And the special love partner, well, he or she is acceptable only as long as their purpose is served. Hatred can enter the relationship, but it is held together by the illusion of love. If the illusion goes, the appeal is gone, the relationship is broken, and disillusionment sets in. Love, however, is not an illusion. It is real. It is a fact. Where disillusionment is possible, love, real love, never was. Hate is an illusion. Anger is an illusion. Fear is an illusion. They turn on and they turn off. They are changeable. And what can change never was. And certainly never was love. Our task then is not to seek for love, but merely to seek. And in that process, find all of the barriers within ourselves that we have built against love. It is not necessary to seek for what is true, but it is necessary to seek for what is false. That hides the truth. If we seek love outside of ourself via a special relationship, we can be certain that we perceive hatred, anger, and fear within and are afraid of it. Let's face it, if we had only love within us, we would not seek without. Yet finding that special someone to help us experience the seeming joy of oneness will not bring peace within, as it does not come from another or from the illusion of love we all hope to experience in that special relationship. Recognize this. The special love relationship is an attempt to bring love into the state of separation we all exist in. And as such, it is nothing more than an attempt to bring love to fear and make it real in fear. Every fantasy, be it of love or hate, deprives us of knowledge. For fantasies are the veil behind which truth is hidden. To lift the veil, it's only necessary to value truth above fantasy and to be entirely unwilling to settle for illusion in lieu of truth. Love calls, but hate would have us stick around. Do not listen to the call of hate and waste no more time on fantasies, for our completion lies in truth, nowhere else. In looking at the special love relationship, it's necessary first to realize that it involves a great amount of pain, anxiety, despair, guilt, and attack, with intermittent periods in which they all seem to be gone. This type of relationship is the ego's chief tool or weapon in keeping us from heaven's door. It occupies our waking life and fills us in our dreaming state. And although it does not appear to be a weapon, if we consider how much we value it and why, that is, let's grow up, get a good job, meet the perfect person, fall in love, and make sure you fall, buy a house, have kids, and live happily thereafter. If we consider how much we value this type of relationship and fairy tale, we might change our tune if we but look at it. But we don't, and we won't. We just keep going forward, or so we think. But let's take a look at this situation, this special love relationship. It is the ego's most boasted gift. I fell in love, and one which has the greatest appeal. The dynamics of the ego are very clear in a special love relationship, as there is an attraction and an amazingly wonderful feeling that accompanies it. These relationships are acknowledged to be acceptable and even natural, yet no one considers it bizarre to both love and hate the same person at various times during the relationship. And even those who believe that hate is a sin merely feel guilty but do nothing to correct it. This is what is considered natural and normal, and those who learn that it is not natural are considered unnatural. Why? This world is the opposite of heaven, being made to be its opposite, and everything here takes a direction exactly opposite of what is true. David Hawkins found that out. In the holy instant, free of the past, we realize that love is in us, and we have no need to look for it outside of ourselves, in another, grasping for love from where we thought it was. The special relationship is a strange and unnatural ego device for joining hell with heaven and making them indistinguishable from one another. It leads to fantasies of both worlds and the inability to perceive either as they really are. It's an incredible example of the ego's maxim, seek but do not find. Most curious of all in these relationships is the concept of the self which the ego fosters. Most of us seek a relationship, a special one, to help us feel complete. Yet when the special relationship is found, we usually give away part of ourself, our personality, by sacrificing or trading it with our partner. And then we say things like, well, we became one, two became one. Or, we give up a little for the good of the relationship. This is not union, for there is no increase and no extension. And comically, each person sacrifices part of him or herself that he or she doesn't want. For one, they think they would prefer. They give away what they don't want for what they do want. In other words, I'm going to give you part of me and you're going to give me part of you, but what I give you is going to be the worst part of me because I don't want it. And what I get from you, I'm hoping, is the best part of you because that's why I like you in the first place. I want what you have. The question arises, how much value can be placed upon a person who will give away part of their self in exchange for something they hope is better? Who wants that person? Turns out, we all do. Pretty funny. The better self the ego seeks is always one that is more special. And whoever seems to possess a special self is loved for what can be taken. Where both partners see this special self in each other, the ego sees a union made in heaven. And so it is billed as such and recognized by all as such. And the fabricated story continues amongst the two now betrothed and amongst all who witness this glorious occasion. Yet none will recognize that hell has been asked for under the guise of the illusion of heaven. So remember this, all illusions are based in fear. The illusion of heaven that a special relationship offers is only an attractive form of fear in which guilt is buried deep, yet rising in the seeming form of love. Remember, love is content, not form. The special relationship is a ritual of form. There is no meaning in the form and never will be. The special relationship must be recognized for what it is, a senseless ritual in which strength is extracted from both individuals as each attempts to provide less than what was taken, thereby fostering the illusion. But salvation, or in other words, getting our acts together, lies in the fact that illusions are not fearful because they are not true. They only seem to be fearful to the extent that we fail to recognize them for what they are. And we fail to do this to the extent to which we want illusions to be true. Union or separation? We think joining with another is union, but as I have noted, our special form of union and our methods employed in the union only fosters separation. Separation is only the decision not to know ourselves. And with all that goes on in a relationship, we don't have time to know ourselves. We are too busy taking care of this and that, running here and there. This lifestyle leads away from truth and towards more fantasy. The search for the special relationship is the sign that we equate ourselves with the ego and not with God. For the special relationship has value only to the ego. Unless a relationship has special value, it has no meaning to the ego, for it perceives all love as special. But God created love as He would have it be, and gave it as it is. Period. Love has no meaning except as the Creator defined it by His will. It is impossible, therefore, to define it otherwise and understand it. Now, love is freedom. So to look for love by placing ourselves in bondage is to separate ourselves from it. We should no longer seek for union in separation, nor for freedom in bondage. As we release, we will be released. There is a way to do this. It's the holy instant, Spirit's most helpful aid in guiding us away from guilt, the real lure in the special relationship. Although we don't see it that way because it's subliminal, it's unconscious. Whenever our thoughts wander to someone we think is special and right and perfect, remember it is the allure or the lure of the illusion of love. So instead, take a holy instant break, a moment in time in which release is made possible. Only our little willingness is necessary to effect such. Now, it is impossible to let go of the past, by the way, without relinquishing the special relationship or relationships. For this type of relationship is an attempt to change the past. Special relationships are an attempt to change the past. What basis do we have for choosing a special partner other than our past? Our past brought us to this point in time, right? Everything we are to this point in time is a result of our past. Therefore, no special relationship is ever experienced in the present. Holy relationships are. The special relationships are never in the present, and most relationships are special relationships. Shades of the past envelop it and make it what it is. It has no meaning in the present. The past is gone. We cannot preserve the past in the special relationship, but that's what the attempt is. Now, across the bridge, it is so different. For a time, the body is still seen, but not exclusively, as it is seen here. The little spark that holds the great rays within it is also visible when you cross the bridge. Once we have crossed the bridge, the value of the body is so diminished in our sight that we will see no need for it. The bridge itself is nothing more than a transition in the perspective of reality. On this side of the bridge, where we are all now, everything we see is grossly distorted and completely out of perspective. What is little and insignificant is magnified here, and what is strong and powerful is cut down to littleness, as this is our way. In the transition, there may be a period of confusion as we go from this side to the other side, as we let go our hold of the distortion that seems to hold this world together. This distorted frame of reference is built around the special relationship. Believe it. So do not look back with longing at relationships. The new perspective we gain from crossing the bridge is an understanding of who we are and where we belong. What God has given us is truly given and will be truly received. Our receiving completes His giving. He gave the holy instant to be given us, and it is impossible that we do not receive it because He gave it. In the holy instant is the reminder that we will always be exactly as we were created. Remember that we always choose between truth and illusion, between what would heal and what would destroy. We will be supported as we seek our proper place. So that's what I have for today. The next time we will explore the holy relationship. I hope you were able to catch this, watch it again. There's a lot in this one. Thanks, everybody.